A really nice feature of Berryboot, if you choose to go that route, is a built-in backup utility. It's very easy to use, and I'll show you how to do that right now. Just boot into your Raspberry Pi the way you normally do, and when you get to the Berryboot menu, when it's going to boot into your default OS, if you have more than one, just move the arrows on your keyboard so it stops the boot countdown, or click on something. If you have enough time, if you have the boot time set to 10 seconds or more, you probably have time to just go ahead and click the edit menu. And in there you will see a backup option. So choose the one you want to back up and go into backup. Now there's a couple different ways you can back up here. If you're looking to kind of do a backup of what you've done so far and you want to save all your changes that you've made, which is, I would recommend you doing that. You pick image plus data uncompressed, and then anything you've done up to this point is going to be in this backup image. This is a good thing to do if you're making changes, you've got everything working the way you want to, and now you want to do something new or you want to add something to it. If you make a backup first, then if something goes wrong and you can't figure out what's happening, or it's easier just to start over again, then you have a backup image that you can restore and get back to where everything was working. Now if you click OK, since I'm using a flash drive and not the SD card, it comes up and defaults to my SD card. You can see here there's nothing here except system volume information. I don't have enough room on my SD card for a backup, so I'm going to change this over to my flash drive, which I have plenty of room for backups. So I'm going to look for that. I'm going to go into the media folder. If you don't have any defaults here, you can always go to the root directory and go to media, and then you'll see what volumes you have there. SD2 happens to be my place where all my file systems are, and you can see that here. So I'm going to make a new folder, right click, new folder, and I'm going to call it backups. And I'm going to go into there. Now down here you can do something, whatever you like, to mark this this backup. Let's just mark it 001, it's our first backup, and click save. Then it's going to start creating your backup image. Make sure you get an SD card or a flash drive that's big enough to be able to do this. Once you create your backups, we're going to go back in and look at them, and we'll be able to see them in our backups folder, and we'll talk about that when this is finished. Okay, now when it's done, just click exit. That's going to reboot and bring you right back to the Berryboot menu. Okay, we're going to go in, see if we can find our backups. Okay, and there's the backup we just did. Now, when you want to restore from a backup that you've made before, go into the edit menu, and click and hold Add OS, and then you'll be able to, while you're holding the left mouse button, go down to Copy OS from USB stick. And this is also something you would do if you downloaded an OS that you want to use from on your computer, and you're not going through the Berryboot menu and you want to add it. This is the way you would do it. Now, this goes into your system, and like we did before, SDA2 is not going to show up. So what you need to do is, before going into this, when you're at the Berryboot menu, you need to, on a different machine, copy your backup image to another flash drive, another USB drive, and then when you're at the Berryboot menu, when you're right here, plug it into one of the free available USB drives, and then when you go to edit and copy OS from USB, you'll be able to browse to that one, and you'll see it. It's always a good idea also to just copy them off of the USB that you're using, just in case something happens. That way you won't lose them, or just leave them there if you have enough space and copy them to another place. That's pretty much it. If you want to back up with and you didn't use Berryboot, then you're going to have to shut down your Pi and remove your SD card or your flash drive, and use something like Clonezilla or something like that to make an image of a backup of your OS to have. So that's why Berryboot is real easy for this. Makes it easy to make not incremental backups, but backups at different points of development when you're changing things, so you can always get back to a previous working image.